think it's working now. Let me just check on YouTube as well. Yep, I think I'm live. Okay. Filled in public RevenueCat. Perfect. So, hi everyone, my name is Rudrang Kriyam and I'm participating in the RevenueCat Ship It In Challenge. This is my first live stream, so I do not know how it will actually go, but I'm really excited for it. And a shout out to Ray, who helped me get this interface called as eCam for streaming. That helps me stream directly to X as well as YouTube. And in this live stream, what we're going to do is that we will work together to work on my meshing. Let me just check one thing first. If my I already have some comments here. Nice. If my mic is my mic is not the one I want it to be. Perfect. I think now it should be better. And perfect. So with that, meshing, to give you a context, my app is about everything about mesh gradients. So to get you back to WWDC 2024, when they announced mesh gradients, my first thought was that this can be used on for all my apps. And because if you have used Apple Music and you have seen the lyric screen, or not even the lyric screen, any of the screens when you open the now playing view, you will see that they have this beautiful animation coming on the screen, and it is kind of a mesh gradient. And I have like worked for years to replicate something similar, and I still haven't able to until they dropped this mesh gradient and I learned how to animate them and get the dominant colors out of them. So I went out with a friend and we were sitting in Starbucks back in, I think, 21st of July. And then I told him that, oh, I worked on this mesh gradients, you should have a look. And I was running Xcode and the previews were just loading and loading and loading forever. And then I had this idea, I wish I could just have my own app where I could visualize the mesh gradients, work everything on that, and then the developer can just click on the copy code button and then paste it into the SwiftUI project. The next day, I think around 6 p.m, I was like, I have to give this a go. And I opened Claude 3.5 Sonnet. I asked them, I have this app idea, can you please do some prototype for me? And the first prototype was good enough that I got so motivated to work harder on that. Then in the further subsequent conversations, it was not able to give me what I wanted because the mesh gradient points on SwiftUI differs from the normal ones. So like leaving the technical details out, so Claude was writing most of the code for me and I was debugging most of the code that Claude write. But in an hour I was able to get the prototype out and I put it on Gumroad and have people buy it for like pay as you want, starting from $0. When I got that app working, the response was really amazing. A lot of people reached out to me that they love my app, and I think by the 1st of August, one designer reached out to me that I do not use Xcode, but I would love to use your app, and for that I would need a copy to clipboard button where they can directly copy the gradient to Figma or Sketch, or just copy or export it, or like share it on iMessage. And that was a good idea. And I was working on this app for like, it wasn't like had planned to like ship it for Mac OS Sequoia, and I had ideas for iPad OS 18. But on 5th of August, I saw this tweet, and it was actually published on 3rd of August, but I think I saw it in 4th or 5th. Anyway, I was on a vacation. I saw this tweet by Charlie about this RevenueCat Ship It In challenge, and I saw the prize money 25,000. Just to let you know, I live in India and the cost of living is not as high as San Francisco or the cities like New York or Singapore. So a $5,000 prize money is like living half a year on that money. So when I saw the prize money, I was like, that's a good thing. And you're featured on 150 digital billboards throughout San Francisco for a week. And the three categories, when I saw the first category on most likely to make money award, I was like, this meshing app is not going to make me a millionaire. So I cannot go about using this, like aim for this app. Then I saw the RevenueCat Design Award. I'm not good with design, so this was also a pass. But when I saw the next one, Build in Public, I was like, this is something I have been doing since 2019. My first app, Gradient Game, which was like a fun game I made to go play while I was coming back from my college on my metro ride, and it was a build in public project. And then I did that in 2020, 21. In 22 and 23 I wasn't shipping much, and this year I got back into shipping and building in public. So this is something that is natural to me, and it is for developers who share the most interesting development journey on social platforms, the most interesting lessons or ideas brought into the app from the feedback. When I started the meshing app on 5th of August for the hackathon versus what I have now, these are literally two different apps. Like, it is so visible. Like what I had on first, say 5th of August, was like a prototype, a baby app, and now it looks like a more professional grade editing app for designers. So that's all because of you, all the people in the community, and the people who have been giving me feedback. So that's something that I really cherish. And because I have been building in public on X, I also saw a lot of developers out there who got inspired to join the Build in Public challenge as well. So that kept me going, because I have been asked many times, Rudrank, how are you posting a single video a day and writing an article and shipping 5 updates in a day and still be able to have your 8 to 10 hours of sleep? And the question is, I'm not able to sleep 8 to 10 right now. Uh, it has been messed up a bit, but that's not the point. The point of this live stream is to create paywalls together. To give you a context, I have used RevenueCat since 2020. I have consulted startups to use RevenueCat. I have worked it on my own apps as well as client projects over the years. And the most recent one was like 6 months ago or 5 months ago, where I worked on a music app where I use the latest paywall feature that they have. So I do have some idea on how to use RevenueCat and how to do the in-app purchase, but I have not opened the RevenueCat dashboard for like 4 to 5 months. So I'm still new to this. So I am hoping that I can go through the documentation and understand how it all works. So the first thing to do is to log into my account, and hopefully it is still saved. Yep, it is. So I do not have any active trials, new customers 24 in the last 28 days. The last revenue I made from RevenueCat was this tip for SF symbols. I didn't even know I had a tip jar in this SF symbol app. Then the gradient, someone gave a huge tip 3 years ago from India. Wow, that's nice. And so I think you go to the projects and create a new project. I will name it meshing. I think I will have it as a throwaway project. So by chance, if I show my API key anywhere, I can kind of get rid of the project and start over again. So configure your mobile app. You click on the App Store, meshing. Bundle ID should be rudrankriem@meshing.com. You set the App Store secret, and these are required. So I will have to do it on screen. Okay. So how do you set the App Store secret? I think they have some documentation that you log into App Store Connect and try to find it under My Apps. I will have to log in because the remember me button never works. No matter how much we try, it will never work. We can probably find a dragon but not get that button to work. And what was it? You go to App Store Connect, navigate to My Apps and select your apps. Select the app information and under General, from the left side menu, select the Manage. So where is it? I think it was under app information. Manage the secret, generate. I will regenerate it after the live stream, so I don't have someone using my secret. That's it. And required for the most accurate purchase, you drag and drop a P8 file. I think the P8 file is somewhere under in-app purchase. I do not have set it anywhere in my app. You create an in-app purchase first. So what I'm thinking for my app is to have a consumable, a non-consumable in-app purchase. It's that the idea is that you have 3 in-app purchase. One is 2-hour subscription based and one is a lifetime one. So we will go and create a lifetime one first. We require reference name. It won't be displayed, so I will just say Rankriya meshing dot lifetime. Unique alphanumeric ID that is used for reporting. It cannot be used again. So let's say meshing pro lifetime only. Okay, so I guess you have to use something like meshing pro lifetime. Oh, underscores only. Perfect. So after, I think I missed a step. Where was it? The configuration active plus, download the API key under it's under integrations. I'm sorry, but I do not see any integrations here. Is there screenshots old? Are the screenshots old? Let's go back. Generate an in-app purchase key. It can be found under integrations, user and access. Okay, user and it's it works well. It's my fault. It's under integrations, in-app purchase, RevenueCat. I already had one back in 23. I will just create one for RevenueCat live stream. And then download the key and then go back to RevenueCat and drop the file. Where is the file? This one, and the issuer ID, which I can get from here. And we save the changes. So now I have the app ready to roll. Then I will go and create the paywalls. I have to first create the offerings, and I think to create the offering that are in a paywall, which is all the 3 items that I have mentioned. So I will start with create a new offering, which will be a meshing pro lifetime. The description will be full lifelong access to meshing, and I save it. And I always get confused. Like, I can add a paywall, but what are the packages? Like, I always get confused under entitlements, products, and offerings. I think I have written an article on the same topic, which was last year, or it was 3 years ago. And I have mentioned that in the same code I had mentioned that I was confused whether I should add offerings or not, and I'm 3 years later I'm still stuck at the same thing. So so we go to the paywalls and try to create a paywall, and let's see if it works. Oh yes, so I create a paywall. This offer is missing products. Your offering must have at least one package with attached items. Okay, got it. So I need to go back, and I think if I go to products, there's a way to get the products uh, from the app store and automatically import it. So what do I have to do to get it imported automatically? So an app store API key is required to import products into RevenueCat. So I need to go and find this API key. So this app store API key is similar to what I got from the user access and integrations. Under in-app purchase, there's another option there. So we go back to App Store Connect, go to users and access, then under integrations, we find the App Store API key. I have already used it before, and I will just create another one for the live stream. RevenueCat live stream. Start typing here. I will keep them as app manager. I will download the API key, go back to and then save it here, which is the auth key. Perfect. Now I save the changes. I think I have to put the issuer ID again here, and I save the changes. The issuer ID is same, right? Yes, it's same. Now I go back to meshing apps. So I go back to products, and then the new, I click on meshing. I import the products automatically. I think earlier we had to do this on our own, and I'm glad that if you have like 5-6 products, you manually had to add each of them, but now you can automatically get the products using the App Store Connect API key. Like, you do not have to do anything on your own. And as I mentioned, I remember, so I again got confused what are entitlements. So let's see if I can just go back to paywalls and create a paywall without adding this entitlement. Okay, this offering is missing products. Yes, so I have to go back to offering, which are a selection of products that are offered to the customer. Okay, so in Meshing Pro Lifetime, I have to name it better. It should not be a Meshing Pro Lifetime. So now I cannot create like, I will delete this offering because the offering is supposed to be like a selection of products. So I will just say Meshing Pro Lifetime, like just Meshing Pro offering, and then just save it. Okay, meshing selection of products for Meshing Pro. I can name it Meshing Plus as well, and under Meshing Pro we will add the products that I have created. One is a lifetime product, and I will name it as description lifelong access to Meshing Pro. And under this I will add the products, which is what I had before, which is Meshing _ Pro _ lifetime. So now we have successfully attached a product, and finally if we go back to the paywall, we should be able to get a screen that asks us to choose our templates. I like this. I think this is the best part for me because I do not have to create them on my own. So the last time I checked, like the last time I worked with paywalls, they only had these three, if I'm not wrong, which was initially, like as soon as they dropped the paywalls, I had like got it working. So for my app, the first one does not make sense because I do not need one item. I need 3 items at least. So this one is something that I would prefer. This nope, and this nope. So we will go with this level up your fitness one. And then because I only have one item, then it should at least show me one items. So the my paywall should be in English UK, so I can use COLOUR and import your images. I do not have any image as such, so I would see if I can just import and one of the gradients image that I have. It will not work because my file size is more than that. So we'll try to convert the image by changing the image size. Now it is 34 KB, which is really less, but that will work anyway. So now we have a nice gradient and it says level up your fitness, so we have to change that. We'll say beautiful gradients with Meshing Pro. I think let's say quickly create beautiful gradients with Meshing Pro, and I give a lifetime access, and we add the package. I do not have any other package, so if I try to add the same one, choose a package option. It is a so package one is this is the default package. It says offer period of this and package details. Describe the terms of your subscription such as the price. So full access for just price, I think $9.99. That's expensive. Package detail for an introductory offer, I do not have that. Light mode, I do not know where these colors are supposed to be. I think it's for selected discount. Okay, when you click, okay, so I do not want this green color. I would go with something purplish. This is better. And same for the dark mode. Do they have a settings for previewing in dark mode? Okay, they do. So we preview in dark mode and use the same kind of purple color, but make it a little lighter. This is not purple, and this one is better. Perfect. The call to action will be get started or continue. Continue sounds as if I'm continuing something, but I'm not. You directly are buying the product. The background will be similar, light brown, and I use the same hex here. I think I can just use the color slurp app that I have. It's a handy app to get the color from the image. So I have this that I can use directly here. Better. Now you have footer links, show a restore button. Okay, terms and service link, I do not have that. That's something I have to work on, so I will just mention my website that will have the terms of service later on. So for now this should suffice, and for the privacy policy this stuff is good as well, and there should be a close button as well. Dark mode optional. This is a close button to override the color by default. Okay, I think it's good enough now. So we create this paywall that is the best I could have done. So there's an error validation. It requires 2 items. Okay, so if it requires 2 items, I will have to go back and create another item on App Store review. So we'll go back and let's see if I can just create all the 3 items. I know that when you're submitting the app to App Store, you only have to have 1 item that you can have to submit to the App Store review for the first time, and then you can add your subsequent items. But for now, we have to go with creating the items all at once. So I will mention a non-consumable one. It will be com.wrong.meshing monthly. Let me just see what I mentioned before. Product ID, meshing.lifetime. Okay. Non-consumable, meshing.monthly. And this one will be Meshing Pro monthly subscription. Perfect. I won't do anything on this page. I will go back and create another one for the yearly subscription, which will be meshing_pro_yearly. And with that, we should have all the 3 items that I can have. So there's one thing that annoyed me when I worked with Paywall 6-7 months before, is that now if I click on create paywall, it gives me a validation error, and that needs to be fixed. So if I would go back to the Paywall editor, I had to start all over again. Like everything I did, all the hard work that I put in, I would have to do that all over again. And I'm not sure if it is still the case, so I will not risk it. I'll just copy this link and just go to my particular project, and under my particular project I will try to add the products again. Was it products offerings? I get confused every time. I think it was products. We'll import the products automatically. We'll choose yearly and monthly. Perfect. And then we will, under the offerings, we'll put these as the package, which will be no. So where does the entitlement go? I think let's just create one package. Meshing. No, I think in this itself, can I add more items? Yes. It will be a monthly plan. The description will be monthly access to Meshing Pro. And under this, I will add the product, which will be the Meshing monthly one. Yeah, I have kind of finally cracked how this works. Kind of. And then we create an annual plan, annual access to Meshing Pro. And under this, we will add the yearly plan, attach the yearly plan. And now if I go back, I have all these items and I have the paywall link as well. So I go back to the Paywall app, it would not automatically refresh. So let's see if I go back, do I have to create the paywall again? And yes, I have to do that, so it's still as annoying as it was before. I hope someone from RevenueCat is watching this and doing the fixes. Oh, it's Sunday, so doing the fixes tomorrow. Let's use the same background image. The main content will be create beautiful, quickly create beautiful gradients. I think let's just leave it at that. Packages, the default package will be a lifetime. I add a package which is the monthly. I think the mistake I made is that if I had clicked on the add package button before, it may have given me the options, but I'm just not sure if it does. But now I'm just happy. So the default package is a lifetime one. I do want them to go and use the Full access for just the price. So the idea is that I would want them to push for the lifetime offer, but I'm not sure. Like, let's just select the annual plan because that makes more sense. So I will just say annual access and annual access for just this price, and package details for an blah blah blah. Light mode, this is when I check it. Okay, I will use the same colors from the color slope app. Perfect. You go to the call to action, use the same color here. Yep, it's nice. It's something that I can live with. And use this. I'll just use the domain name. I anyway don't have it. So let's see if when I zoom into this button, I create paywall. There's still validation errors. Okay, so English United has an error. What's the error? I cannot use COLOUR. And there was, okay, I have to write this. What is the error, my friend? I have to set it as default, or I have set it as... There are validation errors that need to be fixed. So if any one of you is watching and know what's the way to fix this, just let me know. Main content. Oh, why did it... Okay, so if I use English as default, I do not get any errors. And then I will have to create I think I added the continue button for English United States. It still has a problem. What am I doing wrong? So got it. So how do I get rid of English United States, or is it a configured language? So I will go back to English United Kingdom, go to the main content, copy this quickly, create beautiful ingredients, go back to English United States, add it up here. Then under the packages, it would ask me to have a package name and then have full annual access for just price. Let's see if it works. Oh, it did. Yes, that we have finally did it. Nice. So the paywall has been successfully created, and the next step is to use it in my app. And let's go back to the documentation and see how do you actually use it in your app. So under paywalls, displaying paywalls, so you need to go, if you're using the entitlements or manually or UI kit, you use this. So I will use the entitlements one, but then I have to know that I have not created any entitlements, so I can use the custom logic one. So that will show if the user contains pro. So first let's do some housekeeping work and go back to entitlements, and here we will add the entitlement which is called as pro. Description will be pro access to all features. I'll just copy what their placeholder says, and in the pro access I will add all the associated products, which will be lifetime. Then I will add the monthly one, and then I will add the yearly one, and finally I will add the monthly one, and then go back. So I know that I have this pro identifier that I can now use in my app. So now I will open Xcode. I will zoom in on my mess. This code is nicer. If I go back to my content view, then that wouldn't be a nice view. So yes, I don't know where is it. So in the content view, I have this onboarding and the content view. So I go to the content view, and I'm working on the redesign. That's why the code is not as good as it seems to be. And I think the first step is to add package dependencies. I will search for RevenueCat. I think it should be under recents, and we'll wait for starting the package resolution. Till then, so there was this one bug in Xcode, or it didn't even let me yap. Which one are you supposed to add? RevenueCat, this one, or the UI as well? We'll add both. And at the top of this project, we'll import the non-meshing AI. I will import RevenueCat. And then here I think it will be Paywall something. What was the syntax? Present paywall if needed. This is the, so I will just copy this. Value of type sum view has no present paywall if needed. So I think I have to import something else, which is RevenueCat UI, if I'm not wrong. And now it works. So let's open the documentation just to be sure. So it has a lot of parameters that you can work with. For the beginning, I wanted to use custom forms in my app, but I have a lot of translations that I'm using, and my custom form that I wanted, Proxima Nova, does not support all those languages, especially Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. So I will just use the normal font. So I would not require this I would not require this parameter to work with. This purchase started, so that I can show a progress view, then purchase complete, so I know what the output is. What's the we get the customer info when a purchase or restore is completed, a purchase cancelled, a restore started. So these are like options or cases that you would need when you're working with the paywall, or the cases that you have to handle. So I think that's the only code I have to write. And with that, if I build the project, it should hopefully work. And let's go back and understand what else do I need. There's a close button displayed with the present paywall if needed. However, a paywall will not have a close button by default. This gives you full control. How to display a footer paywall on your custom paywall. So I do not need a footer one, so I can just use what I have here. I'm not sure if it works in the simulator, but let's try anyway. If it does not, then I can open the new iPhone mirroring to show you how it looks. So while the simulator opens, let's go back to the documentation and read a bit more what else we can do. Let's explore. Like, that's my favorite topic, to explore. How to use custom fonts on, and we are not Android developers. Get back. How to display a footer paywall on your custom. I think that's it. That's the main idea of working with paywalls, that you do not have to write much code. They handle everything for you. Is there anything else that we need to take care of when working with the paywalls? We can offer metadata. Oh yes, there was an option to use JSON objects for the offerings on how I want some data. Like, I'm not sure how I would use it. Maybe I can have the images that I want to show, or something else. Like, do they have they have mentioned an example that you could create a discount message for a special discount. Let's say I want a special discount when I launch this app for Ship It In, and you can use the experiment for A/B testing. How to add metadata to your offering. You just use the JSON file and then parse it on your own end you get the metadata value, and because it's a dictionary, you can get the value for each of the keys, and the metadata is limited to 4,000 characters. Why has it not opened yet? Still launching. And we have experiments. Take the guesswork out of pricing and paywalls. It allows you to optimize your subscription pricing and paywall design with easy to deploy tests. I don't think this is something I will directly start out with. It does not make sense. Like, I first step is to create the paywall, get it working, get it approved, because that's one of the major hurdles that I face with my client projects. Getting it approved is not an easy task, and when it is approved, you get users who are like actually using the paywall and getting like buying something, so you can start showing your MRR on Twitter. And after that, when you have, I guess, thousands, tens of thousands of users, then you can start with the experiments, because the hypothesis that you have, the number, like at that point it would be more meaningful to test out the hypothesis. And there's targeting for maximizing the customer value for, I guess, each of the regions, or placements, target conditions. It's, I think, a lot of advanced stuff that I would not want to learn right now because it does not make sense. And paywall orchestration with offerings. What are offerings? I think this is similar to how you work with paywalls and A/B test it later. Yep, run an A/B test. So let me try to run the project again on my simulator. My MacBook does not work well, especially when it is supposed to. So in the meanwhile, we can go to the blog of RevenueCat to see and find articles that we can learn something from about paywalls. So one thing that I was thinking really hard on the meshing paywall is that right now I have thought of the subscription plan of $3 a month, $20 a year, and a $30 lifetime access, but I do not have any evidence to back up why I chose these numbers. Like, one of the reasons for $30 a lifetime offer was that when I launched the app, there were people out there who were buying it for $15 or $20, and now the app is like much more better. It's just much better than what I had in the beginning, so it is justified asking for $30 for a lifetime access. But then I again think, am I overselling the app? Because I don't think I'm overselling, but am I underselling the app? But then there are like other design tools which have, like, I haven't seen how expensive they are. Just let's see how expensive is sketch pricing. Like, sketch is $9 to $12 per month, so I cannot compete with these apps that are for like sole designers. But as an individual developer, I have to think that I have to pay my bills, and I can, $3 a month is too cheap. Like, if I have to, let's say, target $3,000 a month of revenue, I would need 1,000 subscribers, and getting thousands designers to agree on a monthly plan for working with mesh gradients every single like month is a hectic task. So let's say if it was $5 or $6, then I would only need 500 people. So the pricing is something that I still have to think about in the next weekend, the whole next week. And there was another thing, like, should I show the onboarding? Just like, I have seen a lot of this, I was watching a lot of videos related to paywalls, like, should you show it before the onboarding, or should you show it afterwards, or when a user clicks on a thing that should be under a paywall? And I have realized that a lot of the gurus out there tell you that it is better to show it with the onboarding. And there are some apps out there that I use which will show it every time I open the app, but because I know that I would want to use that app, and even though it is annoying to me, it still works. I have not subscribed because I feel like it's too expensive, but at the end of the day, I have not deleted the app, so even that strategy works. And for me, I would show it just after the onboarding so the users know that there is a pro subscription. And what I'm thinking of is that I work on a credit system. I was watching this podcast of Levels IO and Lex, which I think is all over Twitter right now. And he mentioned that you do not have to, like, as an indie developer, you cannot sustain on free apps, like selling, giving features for free. Like you can have a credit system, like let's say for this app, the meshing app, I can have credits. But I like, what I was thinking is that if I make the whole app free and most of the features paid, I'm not sure what will be the conversion of people switching to the paid version versus if I had a system. Let's say you can have like 5 gradients or 10 gradients for free, use everything that you can on this app, and if you love it, then go and pay. And I feel that's a much better bargain versus just limiting it all the critical features to the paywall. But let's see how that goes. That's my idea, and I still have to think further on this. I still have 3 weeks left, but let's see how that goes. So I have the app open, and I will go to the console to see why the RevenueCat did not open. And I realized the reason it did not open was that I did not initialize it with RevenueCat. I will not go back to my meshing app and do that because there are some API keys out there that I should not show. So I will just init in the content view itself. So I think it is something like purchase. So I have to import RevenueCat as well, and then go purchases dot shared dot authorize. Is it authorize? Initialize. Oh, I think I should just go and read the documentation instead. Let's go to the quick installation. For iOS, after installation, you configure the instance of a purchase. So you configure, it's purchases dot configure with the API key and the app user ID. So I'll go back to the meshing entitlements and see if I can see the API key somewhere here. Name RevenueCat streaming v1. What's the difference? v2 allowed for more access. Of course I will have v2 then. Okay, then I will have to do all this. Okay, I'll go back to v1. Show key, please don't use it. Now we'll go back to configure with API key and add it here. Now if I build the project again, then it should hopefully work like the way I want it to. And while it builds again, let's go back to their blog to see if we have some interesting blog posts to go through. I think there were a few one related to paywall knowledge that were important. Oh, this one, the hard paywall versus soft paywall, how much of your app should be logged. And lock up as much as you can. Too many times I look at developers, I'm like, you give away too much for free. That's something I do not want to do, especially as an indie developer. So let's go back to our, see, this is an error that is a known bug, and to get rid of this, I think I have to run it on a where is it? I have to run it on an 18.1 device. So this error was really, it annoyed the mess out of me. Like, I was shipping at work and I had to use Xcode beta 6, and then I would get this with check throwing continuation error. Then I thought of going back to beta 5, but then it was crashing. I thought of going back to beta 4, but I cannot ship to test flight beta 4 because Apple has stopped that. And no, I think beta 5 is where we had this check throwing continuation problem. In beta 6 they solved it, but only for iOS 17 beta 7, and if you use the other ones it will still have the problem. I understand I should not rant all about it when I know that it is still a beta software, but it is what it is. While the app is loading, I need something to talk about. So let's go back to the blog post. As developers, we are often the worst people when it comes to selling our apps. True, we fear being too aggressive can lead away those hard-earned downloads, and fear for price testing. What happens if user starts complaining? That's when you do A/B testing. Like if I'm testing for $3 and I see their friends getting it for $5, then the friend would come and complain to me. Why the unfairness, I guess. And that is something that is a fear for me. And optimizing the paywall is essential for driving the revenue. The key takeaway is to experiment. Difference between an hard and soft one, I think there was a pro and cons list. Like, it's soft paywall is more user friendly, that you can use the app without any pressures, like a free app or kind of a demo app. Like, it's not even a demo. Like, I remember back in the days, I'm sounding too old, but back in the days when I was back in 2007 or 2005, when I had got a PC, I would download the demo apps of, let's say, FIFA or NFS, and then you can play one track again and again as much as you want. And if you have to like play the other tracks, then you would like have to buy the full version. But as like getting some idea from the demo, they had logged so much that you could only get to play one track and nothing else. And now what we have in demo apps is that you, like, I think on PS5, for my Game Pass, the similar thing for Game Pass, I forgot the name, I have not touched my PS5 in a long time. So the idea is that they would give out some games for demo, but you can only play it for like 1 hour or 2 hours, and you can play as much as you want, but only for those 2 hours. And after that you have to either delete the demo or buy the full version of the game. And that's what I was thinking, like, have 5 to 10 credits, try meshing AI, go berserk with everything that you can do with the paywall, with the mesh gradients. But the idea is, how do I stop the user from so the should it be 5 exports? Because 5 exports is it's not a lot, but I think I can keep it to 5 exports. Like, you can go through, enjoy the gradient as much as you can as a sample app, and then when you're like sure that you would want the app after the 5 exports, that I can think that is someone who is a power user and would eventually want to buy it, then I can show them a more higher pricing, not like a higher pricing, but something that is valid, like valuable to them as well as to me. So uh, this paywall pricing, it's a hard game. And as a developer who has been just into code for the past few weeks, understanding the business aspect of it is something I have to, like, I do not have to put my developer hat and put on more of an entrepreneur hat. And let's see why it's not working. I can already hear the fans on my M1 Pro, so I need to switch on the AC. So let's see what we have for the blog post. 8 paywall test ideas to grow app revenue. This one seems interesting. Show the paywall at the right time. The number one metrics that we focus on is that most percentage of the users do not even see the paywall. That's why I said that I would want it just after the onboarding. I do not want them using a core feature, because that will be initially paid for the first 5 credits. And then there are people who have like heard more about the app and they would directly want to subscribe. What's happening on the simulator? I think it's trying to work. Anyway, is upfront paywall too aggressive? This is what I think as a user. But Jake, I think, works at Superwall, which is a paywall app as well. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. People feel bad when they are aggressive with their paywalls, but the truth is that you need money to invest in your app, and the user can always exit out. You're not forcing them, it's not as aggressive as you think. So, this is something I have to ponder about and just show the paywall after the onboarding. Decide what you want to lock behind the paywall. Let's go back to the app and see if the paywall works. It says get serial done. There was an unknown backend error. Secret API keys could not be used. So there's an unknown backend error. I'm not sure what the error is about. Did I mess up anything on the API key side? What does... Oh, I think a lot of people have got it. If you got, make sure you're probably using the API key or using a private key when you should be using a public key. Okay. By following the guide. Maybe I have done something wrong. My secret key. So I think I'm using the private key instead of the public key. So we'll go back to the app and try to get the public key instead. Okay, got it. There was another option, like I was in such a hurry not to showcase my key that I just messed it all up. Let's see if this works now. So one of two auth kit, I'm not sure. Oh, it's a private framework. Purchase configured with get request, get started, condition met, and it's finally showing the almost showing the paywall. So none of the product register could not be fetched. Okay. None of the products registered in the RevenueCat dashboard could be fetched. So we'll go back and search it on Google. So if you're still testing it sandbox, it's most likely a configuration issue. Product are certain, but the actual product that the user can only be retrieved because the product identifier should match exactly the same. Okay, so the products are not in a ready to submit state, so I will have to go back and make it ready to submit. So we will go to availability and set all done. The pricing will be United States in USD. The pricing will be $20, which is 19.99. Sounds nicer than 20. Tax category will match the parent app store localization. We can do this later. Review information. I think I have to add some review notes. This is for the yearly subscription. English US yearly annual subscription. And then we will save it, and then I am hoping that it would go into the ready to submit option, but it's still missing metadata. Let's see, does it want an option for the screenshot as well? But isn't am I not stuck in a loop that I cannot have the items shown and it is still asking for me a screenshot of it? Have I missed something here? I think I still get the same error that there's an issue because it's still not in the ready to submit state. So let's just take a screenshot of the app and put it as a screenshot and see if that works. Should go under yes, because I cannot think of anything else that can make it not go into the ready state. It is processing the screenshot. I think when it is processed, I can click on the save button, and let's go back to the article. You have signed your paid application agreement. I think I have. If you're trying to fetch from, you're not using StoreKit configuration, I'm not. Changing reference, because I'm using the import feature, so the product identify exactly the same as RevenueCat. So let's go back to App Store Connect. So we are still in the state of missing metadata, so we'll just see what we have on Google. It's stuck on missing metadata. So add any type of screenshot of the app here, then save and submit. It should work. You should add a description. Like as I said, that could have been a problem, but it is now stuck on processing the screenshot. So we'll just refresh it and hope it works. And now it is in a ready to state submit. Yes, all the knowledge of working with in-app purchase over the years have been dusted. So it feels like I have to go back and start from scratch, back to square one. To ready to submit as well. I'll add the pricing, which is so I got a notification that my what's this, the disk space is too low and I have to kind of abandon this live stream, so I'll just make it quick. Even after 500 GBs, I think it is because I have been recording a video each day and I have not deleted the projects, so those are stacking up. I think they're like 10-20 GBs or more than that. So let's try to build the project once again. Please, MacBook, help me out here. Xcode. I do not want my live stream to be just cut off in the middle. Revenues, this is the lifetime offer, and we just save it. Then we go back, and this is almost full, so it won't build at all until I try to delete something. So what can I delete? Let's go to the documents, and I have some ship it and projects I think that I can delete. Let's clear the trash as well. Oh, I had Xcode 16.1 for almost 3 GBs. I think this should help me continue for at least 10 minutes more. I can yap a little bit more. Let's go back to Xcode and finish off the last monthly product. So I think it was not able to process the screenshot. Oh, I had to add the localization name, I'm sorry. So lifetime and lifelong access. And I go back to this one. I set the availability for all the countries, add pricing for, let's say, 3.99, and say do it for all of the countries. This is preparing for submission. This is ready for submit as well. And I add localization as a monthly plan monthly subscription, and I create the product, and then I have to add the screenshot again. Monthly subscription. Perfect. Now we are at a point where all of the three in-app purchases are ready to submit, so we should kind of see them when I install it back on my simulator. Hopefully if Xcode supports me here, because it doesn't seem to like working with RevenueCat. So in the meanwhile, we'll go back to reading our blog posts. Where were we? Paywall. How I successfully migrated my indie app to RevenueCat paywalls. Oh, this is a nice read. Oh, that's Charlie. When I'm not doing my day job, I am working on an app called as Dark Noise. This was the paywall before. It was entirely custom built, and I had to write a bunch of custom code to run the A/B test. Okay, so when RevenueCat launched, he was excited to switch to the paywall. How he migrated? So he used the footer view rendering mode to effectively like recreate what he wanted. So he have his own custom view that he's still using, but the footer paywall is provided by RevenueCat. This is something I can do as well, because my idea is to have the paywall show a beautiful animated mesh gradient, and on top of that I would mention that you can animate, you can use a wireframe, use meshing AI, export to a lot of options that will be under the meshing pro option. And he duplicated the offerings and then created a paywall and ran the experiments. The benefits is that you can show all the products and trial as well. I do not plan to have any trials in my app. So he also had a very pretty Black Friday sale, which looks nice. And I'll just close Xcode and try again. It is still stuck on those process. This is the usual Xcode for you. So let's see what we have for more paywall articles. How to use toolkit we use to build a subscription paywall? Nope. Are you willing to break the rules to succeed? The pros, why your onboarding experience might be too short, how to strengthen using. So I don't find any good article that I would want to read more while we are waiting for the simulator to load. Let's read one on optimizing the paywall placement. Users' expectation, they are not afraid of commitment. As subscription-based models become more commonplace, users' expectations are evolving. They are very accustomed to encountering a paywall early in this experience. Okay, so it's like if I am targeting the users in US, they most likely will be used to having been shown the paywall just after onboarding. So if you also have this fear that you are like compromising on the user experience, this does not seem to be the case anymore. And this citizen app, they weaved it into the paywall as a narrative, which is really cool. And optimizing the aha moment, when to present your paywall. This is something I want to optimize. Is right now I have an onboarding screen that just shows the features that you have, but instead of just showing the features, I would want to have a visual mesh gradient on that screen itself that you can play with, and then you get started with the app, so you actually know what you are going to expect even before you go to the main app. You have like a mini mesh gradient editor in the onboarding itself, and then you can just then I will show them the onboarding screen. And I think that would be much better, because then they can have that aha moment, like, oh, I really love this mesh gradient. Like, I can show them a 4 by 4 aurora borealis beautiful mesh gradient. They're like, I really want this app, and they actually go and like create, like, love it. And I have been getting inspiration from this app called as Photo Room. It's an AI photo editing app, and in the onboarding itself they would do something very similar, where you can add a photo of yours and it removes the background, showing how good the app is, the value proposition of the app, and then you're like, wow, I want this app. And then as soon as you're like, oh, I want this app, they will show you, okay, then get this app now. So that's what I want. Like, I want to seize the opportunity to monetize, because I'm showing what the app is capable of, and when you pay, you can have that capability, take that capability to the next level. And on the side, we finally have our paywall. We have done it, folks. We have finally done it. I got the paywall running. I'll just zoom it to the whole screen. It says quickly create beautiful gradients. I have the lifetime, monthly, and offers as I really wanted, and I will just go and continue. And I have to sign in the app, but the idea is I got it running. And there's this close button which looks out of the, like, really not, like, does not fit in the picture. And the quickly create beautiful gradients, it seems very, how do I say it, it does not look native to a mesh gradient app or a beautiful mesh gradient tool. So I would go with what Charlie did with his app, have a custom UI for creating the mesh gradient that is like animated. Because right now, if I go back and show you my app, which has the onboarding screen, onboarding view, where's the onboarding view? Yes, so if I just say if the onboarding has not completed and run the app, so you will get an idea of what I want the user to transition from the onboarding to the paywall. So it's like, as soon as they transition to the paywall screen, the footer view would on appear as a sheet. Like, as soon as they click on this, get started or continue, then they will be like shown a footer view on appear, like a very nice bouncy sheet appearance. And then from there, they can decide if they want to buy the app or not. And with that, I think we have reached the end of the live stream, because I was finally able to get the paywall working. And it will not work. I will just show the paywall once. Like, I will just recap what all we had to do to get the paywall working. First is to go to RevenueCat to get your, to sign in, create your app, add the products, offerings, and entitlement. Then create the paywall, your design. Go to App Store Connect to make sure you have all the items, and then go back to Xcode, and then put on the where is it? Put this code to present the paywall if needed with the required entitlement identifier. And that's it. That's literally it. Even though this live stream has been, I think, 1 hour 15 minutes, if you are doing it on your own, it wouldn't take you more than 20 to 30 minutes. So with that, if you have been watching it till now, I really appreciate it. And I would live stream, I don't know if I will live stream more, but I would be very active on Twitter, so you can follow me there, which is Rutrang Kriyam, my full name. And with that, I will put a video on YouTube as usual, like I would do after this live stream is done. And thank you so much again. I don't know what else you're supposed to say. So have a great day.